is a pretty big deal.
That's a very big deal, I would say. And here we go. We can finally get into the action here. Thanks for sticking around with us, folks. It's map number 1. It is Anubis coming up here in just a second. We should be hopping onto the map and getting those POVs momentarily. The map pick of the Red Canids. And there we go. Into the map. Dual Berettas and armor for Venom Zeta. Bartin drops the other pair of dualies over to Hard Zhao. He will hold on to a flashbang, which means presumably no kit here, Nate. So if the bomb goes down, Imperial can have themselves a good chance at pistol round number 1. And the statistic, at least last I saw, if a team wins the pistol on both halves and the following round, the first 2 rounds of each half essentially, it is a 78% win rate.
See no way as well. The young gun on the P250 taken down immediately by Gabriel. Bartin doubling down on the bolts. Another for Bartin. You mentioned he was the IGL, and he has been a stellar performer as well for Red Canids. 2 versus 5 secured. Vinny and Phelps. Phelps has had the P250 at least, but the numbers simply don't bear out a favorable situation. They're going to turn back, look for a flank. There is one coming in. Hard Zhao. What do you think better of it? Double peeking in towards the middle. Bartin won't overextend. He'll fall back and let Gabriel, through exit sign, do the damage. 1 for Vinny. Conciliatory frag. Something to show for this round, but Hard Zhao gives him a hard lesson from behind. A nice headshot and a quick pistol for the defense.
Very quick pistol for the defense. They didn't need the kit at all, only losing Bartin. And just so there's no more further confusion, Nithon is playing as Gabriel Zine in the kill feed. So if you see Gabriel Zine, it's just Nithon. He wants to swap up his name in game, but it's the very same man that we all know. We got to see a lot of in that previous qualifier. Just pistols out for Imperial now. P250 on Phelps. Glocks on everybody else. Flashbang for Vinny. And the nade out in towards Canal will do a lot of damage. It's more of an A-main nade, but still. The end result is the same. Venom Zeta is going to have a farm here if they come around this corner.
It's a good carpet nade for the players coming down that long area. Right where all the nades would be lined up if they had nades ready. The MP9 does a lot of damage to a third, but only gets 2. Phelps does trade with the P250, but I can't see them getting a planter. There should be no chance as the rotations come through. Nithon up top finds another. Dean is here to support with the FAMAS 1 and 2. All 4 rifles kept up. They lose the MP9, but that SMG harvested 2 kills. That's a lot of money in the bank. That should mean solid investment for Red Canids in round number 3. Imperial, we should be seeing a buy as well. It looks like we are having some technical problems as well, Boggs.
Nothing like a little tech issues early on in the game, but it shouldn't last too long. I mean, we've had a lot of tech things come through up and down. And the match medics have been very swift. No longer are we waiting like 3, 4, 5 minutes on match medics. It's usually like a minute 30, maybe 2. So that's one thing CS2 has definitely improved, is the speed at which match medics are able to be performed, and at which we are able to get back into the action here. Is that a default Karambit?
No, I think that's a urban. It has a skin on it. It's hard to tell with the saturation. I think it's a night tonight.
Oh yeah, that is a night. Yeah. Yep. It's a good wear though. It's a nice Karambit.
Minimal wear, I'd say.
Yeah.
Maybe field tested. The wear on a lot of guns has gotten far better, or a lot of skins in general.
Yes. I mean, dude, my Dragon King looks so nice now.
My Ultraviolet's gone from looking minimal wear to looking flawless.
I would say my Ultraviolet Karambit has looked a lot nicer as well. But it's guns up for both sides. The FAMAS still in the hands of Bartin. A couple of kits, a good amount of utility. Imperial with AKs across the board, defaulting out across the map. But Red Canids aren't really too content with aggressing, Nate. They're pretty happy just hanging about, holding their sights, as we saw throughout the course of the last qualifier. Young Cho Bing, good flash for Phelps in though, and that's going to be a kill onto Venom Zeta, who is playing as some name I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce on the kill feed. But if it's just weird, what begins with O, that's Venom Zeta. Players like to do this. I will never understand why.
How many players changed their names in between Friday and Monday?
Bartin, so far, is the only one I've seen that has not changed his in-game name. On Red Canids, we'll see if Destiny and Hard Zhao have as well.
Classic. It's never easy.
And funnily enough, it's the guys who didn't play in NA, because Bartine spent a lot of time in NA. If Hardzao didn't change his name, he spent a lot of time in NA, and it's kind of a North American thing. They like to change their names a lot, and that's just a dry fight one on Bolts that he probably should be winning.
Probably. Helps. The adjustment is to go up E-box. He runs through the flames. Steps are surely heard. Is he respected to be this close? Phelps shoots. Yeah, they should know. Nithan's not going to stick around either. Destiny in the side. Trades. Henny dropped Hardzao. Destiny drops No Way. Destiny's getting up towards side hall. There's a player plat, but Vinny's not actually peeking. But spotted. Destiny doesn't register. He doesn't see him. And now Nithon has to push up instead. They know where Vinny is. Roughly. That flank is so important. Yes, it is. Vinny crosses into sight. 3 versus 2. Phelps totally unexpected. Gets 1. Vinny, amidst the chaos, finds the second. Round concluded. Red Canids. I agree with their call. Rest on your laurels. You have the superior utility. Just wait and play the sites. But Imperial, very quick on rotations. Very aggressive with their peaks. We saw that flash into A main, for example. Just winning the aim duels as required.
And that's kind of what we expected to see from Imperial as well. Such an experienced roster with a lot of raw talent, especially in the likes of Phelps and Bolts. I would say Henny as well. When you get him on the AWP, he's always been a very flashy, fun player to watch. And No Way, supposed to be a young fragger. We'll see what he can do. Bolts has been steady throughout his career. Speaking of Phelps, though, there's an early fight, and Destiny will make it so. Phelps cannot affect this round any longer. Now an outer B main peek. Bolts is there to take down 1. Hardzao around, sprays down No Way. Bolts there for the trade. And this is now a great round for Imperial as they've got the B site open. Bomb has been recovered. But Bartine and Venomzetta with the FAMASs in hand will elect to save and not even contest this. So we will find ourselves at a 2-2 score line. How many players will survive? Henny just skirts by that one. Gets that bomb over towards A, or towards B, excuse me. And Imperial will wait out this timer and get ready to go on the next.
Yes, they will. Imperial reading some tendencies of Red Canids quite well. We didn't really highlight it, but this is their Bastion map, Red Canids. They have an 11-1 record. It was marred by the Sharks, I want to say, in the last close qualifier. That was an overtime loss. Other than that, they have been stellar and spotless. Again, 11 wins and 1 loss. As a result, they have a lot of maps played and a lot of potential for Imperial to make some reads off of the VODs. I know one of Red Canids' heavy plays was either an A late push towards the middle when there's no contact, or B, a mid-round flash in towards B main like we just saw. And so, if that's red by Imperial, they can really shut down a lot of this Red Canids' dynamic defense.
Yeah, and that's another thing too, Nate, where there's so much information now that Imperial will have on Red Canids. Now they play in CS2, and with this team and their experience, surely they will have some reads. I believe Zach is their coach as well, and Zach is a great coach. I've gotten to see Zach work up close and personal with his teams as well. Fantastic coach. I would love to play under him if I had the opportunity to. So definitely a very experienced roster with a lot of potential if they can actually realize that. And it all starts with qualifying for lands such as ESL Challenger Atlanta, the good old ATL. Well, A main pressure, but it's just P2000s in the USP with the 2 save FAMASs up against him. 0 utility left for Red Canids, and probably soon to be no Nithon as Phelps will spot him out in heaven. Won't quite send him down the river Styx yet. Nades will rain through, and there goes the utility smoke Molly combo. I love that Molly smoke combo. There's one for Nithon, or rather for Venomzetta at the very least, and Phelps will just back away while his teammates retreat towards B. Gets 1 on the exit. That's a FAMAS down and armor. Destiny's going to hear all this, though. Does he flick around? Does he get ready for it? Hardzao trying to meet some damage. No Way needs to come in and get a couple of kills here from main.
He does. He's peeking around, dancing, the toying. There's 1 FAMAS on site. Bartine starts things off from back plat. Bolts, does he know there's a player close? No, not quite.
No.
He's more paranoid. He does know. He's going to clear it out. Destiny taken down. Advantage swung back in their favor. Imperial good to change the pace, change their gears, and shift back towards B. Python's gonna take that FAMAS and run with it. Martinez low HP. Gonna try to save, but I think Phelps is hunting. Doesn't want that second FAMAS.
That's a good hunt here. Really bleed that CT economy dry. Now, there is a MAC-10 on Phelps. I don't believe he's reading the money situation correctly, Nate, because he's assuming that Red Canids will be full broke when they pretty much full saved last round and now have rifles. This FAMAS, yes, or rather a MAC-10, there are 2 players on the Red Canids without helmets, but the MAC-10 is going to have a lot of difficulty actually getting some kills on this one. Penny is so blind. He does take a shot, though. That's a confident peek and a confident shot. The flash kind of throwing him off, and Phelps, if he had a Galil even or an AK, which he could have afforded, it's a good chance of winning that fight outright towards Canal, but he's got to take a retreat instead because of his MAC-10.
I'd be reading into the fact that they should have no helmets, but 3 of them still do. And Phelps, there he goes, take down one of the helmetless opponents. Nice edge on the Destiny. Vinny swinging out a B main off the back of that, hoping to draw the IRL square. Finds the frag regardless. Hard Zhao dispatched as well, and you can tell Red Canids playing with a lot of respect. 3 versus 5, already heading back towards A. Are Venom, Zera, Barthene, and Nithon. They don't want anything to do with this round once again. It's going to be another respectful attempt at a save. You can save 3 rifles. You can typically move the money around to buy in the next, but there is a hunt coming in from Imperial. Barthene surpasses the first hurdle. Now he might want that AK, though. Might compel him into a peek. Again, young gun, no way. Exchanging broadsides. Barthene is low. Needs to be support from the A platform, and there is. Imperial are keen on dropping these rifles.
The hunt won't find anything, though. The 3 M4s shall be saved for Red Canids. No way starting off at 0-5 as well is not exactly ideal here for Imperial. But Phelps, Bolts, and Vinny are getting the job done. Seen Vinny drop some serious numbers before, Nate, including a 40 bomb on LAN. On Nuke, to be exact. And he does have it in him. Doesn't come out a lot, but every once in a while, he'll pop up with a massive performance. Timeout used by Red Canids, though, and I think it's a good time to use it. They still have money for a buy. But they are struggling to get anything going. They are kind of just stalling out. They got the pistol in the second, but that's it so far. And yeah, Anubis is T-sided. It's a little bit T-sided. But they're getting obliterated with the guns in hand.
Yes, they are. And again, they're playing with a lot of respect. They're playing even, I dare say, a little bit scared, a little bit standard. That seems to be rather easily read by Imperial. The Ob of Henny, again, is going to have a crack at it. Over towards Canal. He'll jump across. Interested to see where it goes. Aggression towards A main now. They're trying to change things up. Venom Zera getting flashed in, but Phelps is ahead of it. The entry star for Imperial, again, finding a lot of success. He's had a very solid start at 8 kills already. Barthene trying to shore up the defense by sitting back of A site, but what can you do? Jumping up, timing's everything. Phelps should be watching. This nades out, though. Good flash. Barthene gets 1. He should know his seconds around as well. Vinny. The smoke is just going to bide his time and wait for support instead. He spots one, but can't get the kill cleanly. Barthene dancing is caught jumping. And, well, it is sloppy. Nithon trades. No way across map. B main. He is the lurking player. He'll find one on the Destiny. A lot of sloppy fights from both sides. But thus far, they do favor Imperial 3 versus 2.
It's very bare bones, Nate. Just lots of dry fights. A bit rough, if you ask me. But if you're Imperial and it's working like it is, I don't think there's a reason to change it. And in fact, one might even say that Imperial is thriving in the chaos.
See, a lot of veterans who are known to be individually skilled and gifted. It's kind of exactly what they want. Individual duels, ego peaks. They want Red Canids, the younger roster. Again, we talked about it. They just got picked up by this organization right before the last qualifier, which was Thursday, Friday. So about a week ago, they got picked up. Could be pretty easy to get in their heads, especially these kind of ego peaks, as I've been calling them. And we can tell the Red Canids have also had a very strong propensity to save. A lot of respect being given. So Imperial could be leaning into that kind of psychological warfare in that
Terrorists win.
A little bit of psychological warfare, a lot of bit of experience favoring Imperial right now on the map. Pick of the Red Canids on top of it all. The rifles on Imperial are looking very confident and comfortable in CS2. They're also looking very smooth with the way they're operating with the smokes and the nades and utility in general. They look practiced so far. We'll see if that changes when they get to the CT side. I'd also like to see Henny be able to actually get involved. He has had the op since round number 4, and he hasn't seen anybody. He's just kind of along for the ride.
And it makes sense, right? We've seen the op going for aggressive peaks. It doesn't always work. I think Safe had some moments here and there, but I don't know if you saw the clip from Monacy during IEM Sydney. That's kind of a big one that throws a lot of question marks up into the air about peaking with the op. So playing a little bit more reserved, playing as consistently as you can by holding angles seems to be the name of the game. Henny, right as I said that.
Makes sense. It's a sniper.
It does make sense, you know, in terms of an actual gun, but this is Counter-Strike after all. Right as I said that, Henny goes for kind of a peek in towards B main. There's an MP9 spotting close. Destiny could catch him out. His wide swings are really what catch out the op and create those uncharacteristic misses. No way. Pushing in off of the op shot. Does not find anything. Bolts and Henny, though, find kills elsewhere. Henny finds hard now supporting. Bolts in the middle finds 1 and finds 2. A second on the Barthine. This half by being picked apart slowly yet surely. Last 2, Venom, Zera, and Destiny, both leaning towards A, or B, excuse me. They only have the op to contend with. The bulk of Imperial is getting control towards middle and holding the other extremities.
Nice little backstab from Bolts onto Venom Zeta. Henny's Tech 9 struggles, and Bolts will keep him alive. That's one thing I've noticed too. The Tech 9 does not feel the same as it did in CSGO. And I think Henny just exemplifies that there. But Imperial 6 in a row off the back of the pistol and the second round loss. And they are rolling. Nithon picks up the op of his own, though, so maybe we'll see a good old-fashioned Oppers duel, which does not seem to happen much at all in CS2 in general. And Venom Zeta also opting for an AUG, seeing that have a little more importance on the CT side, a little more buying power. And Imperial, unknown what they're going to do in this round, looking with a big group towards B. Perhaps something fast on the cards here from the T side. Flashes in, smokes down. Fight, fight, fight might be the play. And I can't say that I don't like it.
Runs out close, finds 2. Finally a good rebuke from Red Canids. Holding their lanes, winning the fights against players who are coming out of choke points. That is what we needed to see from the CT side. Cards out. They'll be forced away, but they'll survive. That's the most important factor. Red Canids have rotated around as well. 3 here on B. Imperial are still sticking around as well. They still want to take these fights, and that might prove foolhardy.
Well, there's one from Henny. Blind on the Hearts out. That's a big player to find, especially since he's the one who did the damage so far. That's going to signal more rotations in from Red Canids, though the players that had mid and A are going to continue to bolster the defenses here on B. All 4 CTs are here, but Bolts drops Nithon. Now things are getting a little more messy. Henny might be blind, but No Way adds another one to his tally. He's starting to get involved in this game. Bolts falls to Venom Zeta, but No Way does a little more damage. It would be nice to have a nade, but Destiny is calling as No Way gets spammed through the smoke. It's up to Henny in a 1v2. Big green, and no more. The all over the top of the smoke catches Henny's head. Now for the first in 6, Red Canids get one on the board. They do lose 3 players, though that is not ideal for the CT economy. Meanwhile, Imperial can buy up again. Henny can go back for the op if he desires. The third and final tactical timeout called going into round number 10. That is some very aggressive timeout usage from Red Canids. And so far, they've used 3 timeouts. It's gotten them 1 round.
Did we see any timeouts from Red Canids in the last qualifier? I feel like we didn't. I feel like we were noting that they just...
Maybe 2 or 3.
Might have been Red Canids that didn't use them. Regardless, yeah, I think we only saw a fair few. And seeing 3 in the first half on the CT side of Anubis, it's very interesting. If their T side runs into troubles, they'll have no time to talk it over beyond some eco rounds where they play passively. Imperial, I will say sticking around towards B main in those aggressive spots does work out. I don't know if that's a read or if that's just what they wanted to do. You know, when Red Canids lose that contact, they go for the flash peaks, they go for aggressive calls, especially when they're up. Of course, Hardzao was punished because of that. Helps flashing himself in this time towards A main, but it won't be a free one like last time. Already posted was Venom Zera. Kills, nevertheless, that favor Imperial, though. There are 2 kills across the map. An aggressive push in B main yields nothing for Red Canids.
That B main push is so readable at this point because Red Canids do it so often on this map. And if you have players holding, it's not hard to counter at all. And when you have players the caliber of Imperial, then it's even easier to counter. Still is that lurk from Vinny as well, out towards Canal. But it does seem to be another B end for the T side. They really like pressuring this B site.
Pressure middle as well, with like complete pushes through all of Temple. So you can tell Red Canids are already kind of getting paranoid, falling back in middle. I didn't even call this a save. 3 versus 4.
It should be, actually. No retake utility, no kit.
Yeah. I'm surprised I don't even like leave someone to spot and maybe get a kill, you know?
Yeah, because if they got 1, made it a 3v3, then it's viable. But now that the bomb goes down, 3v4.
Well.
Yeah.
I thought for a second they might go for a flank play together, which could have been interesting. There's a kit down in B main, but Ult is already watching for it, and they're posturing for exits as well. They're not really forcing the issue. Red Canids, again, so much respect being afforded to Imperial. This feels like a very different Red Canids from what we saw in the last qualifier.
I mean, I guess there's a difference when you're playing Imperial versus Young Sharks, MIBR, and 9Z.
At the same time, I feel like all those teams are going for more sophisticated takes than Imperial. Imperial are just playing their own game.
But when you're playing against legends in your scene, then maybe there's a little bit of psychological damage there. It's like, oh, crap, it's Bolt, it's Henny, it's Vinny, it's Phelps. These guys have played majors, man. These guys have made deep runs at majors.
It's fair, but it's not a mindset you can have.
No, it's not.
Especially in a new game. When you look at it, CS2 there's no majors. There's nothing.
Yeah, look at complexity.
Yeah, exactly. Making the grand finals of IM Sydney.
Yeah, and taking FaZe to double OT on map 3.
FaZe to double OT on map 3, taking down G2 2-0.
Yep.
And aggression straight towards middle. Imperial, no respect play. They know they've won the game psychologically. They're just going to push the issue. Martin, the IGL, the shining star throughout the close qualifier for Yan Xiaoping, out immediately.
He's still leading the charge for him, too.
He's still the heavy hitter. It's not as star-studded as his performances were in the other qualifier, but still, he is the one of the few, I think, one of the 2 that are positive in terms of KD.
Henny looking to get another kill with the op. It's not that easy to do on this map in particular. It's not Mirage, say, or even Nuke or Overpass on the T side. Overpass map number 2 as well. There's a free P for Henny onto Nithon, who peeks on out and goes down. Does a little bit of damage, but Henny will be more than happy to exchange that. Phelps is watching from top carpets, and he'll catch Destiny creeping forward down the canal. He's sent up river now. Venom Zeta! There's a free one onto Vinny, who's just clearing out too many different angles. Solo peek onto the site. Missed duel for Hardzao onto No Way, and that's going to be a B plant now for Imperial. They've secured essentially both sides at the same time. Phelps will finally get the last one onto A, but Imperial were not going for one site in particular. They were going for overall map control the whole entire time.
Yeah, they got complete middle control, and that's when you kind of spread out that defense. You find the first, you secure the advantage, and then it splits the defenses on either side. If there's 2 on A, one suddenly has to watch the flank, both exit and towards heaven. The player B has to do the very same because the players can go through temple and go to CT spawn. There's so many avenues that Imperial can exploit, and by slowing it down, they spread out the defense and force them into essentially one-on-one duels. Or even less favorable ones, like a 1v2. Very well done from Imperial. And they again change it up, just holding their lines, spamming passively. The Op of Henny is holding towards E-box, if I'm not mistaken. No way again on his haunt towards B main.
SG fight for Vinny out onto pool, and Nithon is the one who gets flashed and bagged. Venom Zeta is there as well. The two players with unusual names are playing on A. And now a flash in for Vinny as Hardzao will finish off nowhere with a flash peek into B main this time. Bartin spotted, but now Vinny's got to be careful. There is Venom Zeta, and down goes Venom Zeta. Vinny using the Creed to great effect, picking up a third, just catching Bartin around the edge of that smoke. Destiny will drop bolts, but it's a 3v2, making a 4v2, or 3v1, excuse me, as Vinny has found his 4th kill. Phelps might have Hardzao on a platter as well if he walks across the window, which is exactly what happens. It's a 9-3 scoreline in favor of Imperial as we head to the break.
Give me some clarity. First time that we met not long ago. Before you had to get back on the road. We spend every second of the day together. I remember when we talked till 3 a.m. Driving around in town in your old van. Tell stories about who we used to be. Why don't we speak? I'm running circles. Since you're in my life, I can get no sleep. If you give me a sign, I'll be yours to keep. Just wanna say you're mine and make history. Cause I've been playing blind, wasting all this time, yeah, I need clarity. Give me some clarity. Waiting for your call all night and day. Where did we go wrong? Don't wanna wait until you're just a distant memory. I still feel your touch though you're not here. Since you've been gone, you're all I see. Still hear your voice, why don't we speak? I'm running circles. Since you're in my life, I can get no sleep. If you give me a sign, I'll be yours to keep. Just wanna say you're mine and make history. Cause I've been playing blind, wasting all this time, yeah, I need clarity. Give me some clarity. Yeah, I need clarity.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Imperial starting off hot on their opponent's map pick of Anubis. It's Pineapple, Phillips, and Boggs on the microphones. Red Canids, a virtual must-win pistol round at this stage. If they lose this one, they probably lose the second, and then it's an 11-3 near impossible comeback to mount. Pistols blocks in 1 P250, a straight pop in towards B. That won't stop Phelps though, in towards E-Box with the dualies. 2 security S support as well. Hards out will drop said support, but Phelps tallies a third before falling. Hards out. Some inroads, but Henny shuts that down entirely. The last alive, trying to plant back of sight is Hards out. Bolts takes him down. Double digits secured, a very succinct pistol round. Both teams winning their respective defense CT side pistol rounds. Imperial Sportsbet, with that domineering 9-3 scoreline on the T side, are looking to make this first map quick and easy.
Yeah, that loss of the second pistol round really does put a massive vice on Red Canids now. The squeeze is going to get harder and harder, and Imperial are only going to have an easier and easier road to getting to map 1 victory on their opponent's map pick. I'd like to add map number 2 being Overpass, picked into by Imperial, but nobody on Red Canids at double-digit kills just yet. 3 players on Imperial over double digits, and then No Way and Henny at 4 and 5 kills respectively. Henny, granted, hasn't been taking too many fights, although the CT side is a good opportunity for him to get a little more on his bank account. Phelps is jiggling with death, and he will slip on back to the site. It's just Glocks, only Glocks, and while Red Canids might have been able to make the Glocks work against, I want to say it was 9Z, I don't think they're going to make it work against this team.
No, I don't think so. Henny in the middle. Sam's away for one. He's stuck in a very difficult spot, but he'll make it work. He has some support as well. 2 more for him. 1 for Bolt, and a second all but assured. There it is. 11-3 for Imperial. Rifles will be on the board for Red Canids, but they're going to lack a little bit of utility here and there. And meanwhile, Imperial's reinvest, their bonus round, is very daunting as well. 3 A1Ss, an MP9, an XM1014. That's the auto shotty, for those of you wondering. And again, everybody on Imperial doing quite well. No Way did his job in the first half. Doesn't have the stellar stats you would expect given what they were on HLTV, but Bolts and Phelps at 14, Vinny at 11. All the individuals, or most of the individuals, popping off as you'd hope for Imperial.
Yeah, I definitely took No Way's stats with a grain of salt. A heavy, I would say several grains of salt. Just because of 1 matchup, or 3 maps against 1 team. And it was Boca Juniors. It wasn't a team on the level of Red Canids. So you have to really take that one and be like, okay, there's probably going to be a drop-off here. And there certainly has been. We'll see if he gets more and more comfortable as this qualifier drones on. And Red Canids have left the bomb back. What the heck? That was before the nade popped, right?
Yeah. Big one to find. It's one of the rifles. Vinny, though. Push A main. Timing's everything. I think someone's watching for it, but I'm not 100%. Hard to tell. Looks like Nithon is. It's going to be a B split. Phelps is an E-Box. We saw him run rampant with the dualies, but this is a different beast entirely. 2 AKs. He'll find the first. A second, perhaps. He spams away. Doesn't get the kill. It's sloppy for both sides, but Destiny does recover, taking lots of damage, yet still finding the kill. Smoke towards Temple. Will wall off 1. Question is, will he run through it in response? Yes, Bolts does. 2 players on plat to deal with. Bolts and Henny. Both combining. Bartine finds 1. Bolts, though, doubles in response. 2 versus 2 secured, but Bolts is low, and he's now stuck. Support is Vinny towards E-Box. He'll find 1. The last alive is Hardzal. They know roughly where he is, and Vinny will make a mincemeat of him. 12-3, 9 map points, and again, remarkable performance individually and as a team now from Imperial.
Yeah, I mean, Bolt's just anchoring back plat, Vinny coming in from E-Box to support. That is exactly how they had to play it, and it is exactly how they performed it. No response from Red Canids. They get left out high and dry. And Imperial have map number 1 point here with a very swift lead moving forward. Hey, we've only been on this map of Counter-Strike for just shy of 40 minutes. And Imperial are ready to notch this one away as Phelps catches Destiny first and foremost. A Again, their opponent's map pick as well. Nades going through, doing so much damage to Red Canids. Hard's out down to 55, Bartini down to 76. Bam's coming through as well. But no aggression from Imperial, which is smart. They don't need to throw their lives away for this. They have the mana advantage they can hold. They have the firepower advantage, and they know it. This play from Venom Zeta might be something, but Bolts roasts Bartine in the meantime, and that just makes things even worse for Red Canids.
He's just right side B main, stuck as the flames spread. It seems like it Phelps through the smoke, finds another. That was, I believe, Nithon behind. I'm still trying to remember what name means what. Venom Zera and Hard's out. One down below. Walk in from Phelps is just, honestly, a favored duel. It's still won by Phelps nonetheless.
Yeah.
Again, it feels like Imperial are outclassing maybe Red Canids. A little bit distracted. Some of these kills should be firmly in the favor of Red Canids, and they clearly aren't. Hard's out, the last alive, 1v5, and remains spotted and taken down. No way, the young gun that we've been hyping up. A quiet map, yet still finishes the job on the first. Anubis, again, the pick of Red Canids, a bastion of a map for them that they have lost once in the last 3 months, falls 13-3 to Imperial.
A loss to Sharks, now a loss.